I'm reading from Jung's Red Book for Our Time. I've been doing a lot of reading in Dr. Jung's The Red Book lately, and because his active imaginations were personal and imaginational, it seems to me from time to time I need to help ground our audience into a perspective about what Dr. Jung was doing. And so this book that I'm talking about here, Jung's Red Book for Our Time, has 18 essays in it which do anchor the Red Book into a meaningful place in our literary history, our psychology for the 21st century, and even for our future. And so I've decided to, from time to time, I'll read an excerpt from one of these essays as I'm also reading the Red Book. So today I'm reading an excerpt from an essay by Dr. Susan Rowland entitled A Literary and Transdisciplinary Interpretation. So I'm cherry picking a little bit, but on pages 257 and 258, Dr. Rowland says the following. I want to offer another perspective to academic research of the 21st century, one that originates in quantum science and theology. Inaugurated by quantum physicist Basarab Nicolescu, transdisciplinary means beyond disciplinary severing of being. Transdisciplinary rejects any possibility of a hyperdiscipline, one capable of subsuming all human knowing into a system of perfect knowledge or ultimate truth. Rather, he emphasizes that reality, currently fragmented in many disciplines, is itself multiple. In this sense, a single godlike vision for total knowledge gives way to a polyvalent polytheism of knowing. By refusing a hyperdiscipline, Nicolescu does away with the traditional unified human subject of Western modernity. After discoveries of quantum physics, he posits a new human subject for all research. No longer should research assume the primacy of the criteria of objectivity. Nicolescu's radically open unity means accepting that humans live in many levels of reality simultaneously. It will never be possible to rationally know all psychophysical realities, not least because some are neither measurable nor stable. Knowledge, therefore, will always be in a state of dismemberment. Nicolescu offers 3 axioms of transdisciplinarity to replace those of traditional science that go back to Galileo. Hitherto, many scientific disciplines adhered to the following axioms, or fundamental assumptions. 1. The universe is governed by mathematical laws. 2. These laws can be discovered by scientific experiment. 3. Such experiments, if valid, can be perfectly replicated. That was the scientific method. Of course, as Nicolescu emphasizes, such an approach to knowledge entails turning the human subject into an object by removing feeling and values. Nicolescu's fundamental principle, or 3 axioms for knowing in transdisciplinarity, are as follows. 1. The ontological axiom. There are, in nature and in our knowledge of nature, different levels of reality and, correspondingly, different levels of perception. 2. The logical axiom. The passage from one level of reality to another is ensured by the logic of the included middle. 3. The complexity axiom. The structure of the totality of levels of reality or perception is a complex structure Every level is what it is because all levels exist at the same time. This approach to knowledge amounts to a paradigm shift from competing disciplines with separate perspectives to one regarding universe as multidimensional. Reality is now complex, so are human beings. No one sense organ or academic discipline is capable of understanding all the other levels of reality. Whatever any particular knowledge claims, it will be incomplete or open. The single God of our historic privileging of rational objectivity is in pieces. He cannot be put together to make a perfect being. Here and now is Dionysus remembered in disciplines, now knowing themselves as parts of a whole that cannot be stitched together to exclude an other. The axioms of transdisciplinarity imply a unus mundus, records Nicolescu. Knowledge in this Cosmodernity is both unified and also multiple because of the new logic of transdisciplinarity. Instead of the dualistic traditional science model of subject versus object, we now have a subject, object, and hidden third, the invisible connected quantum realm. This realm and the growing understanding of quantum complexity infer radical interconnectedness, a oneness that cannot be rationally plotted. Hence, the unus mundus of transdisciplinarity is in disciplines as parts, threaded into one by the hidden non-rational third. They also rightly enact the multiple levels of reality in the cosmos. As Nicolescu puts it, reality is simultaneously a single and a multiple one. No wonder the fathers of the scientific method can't figure out how to put quantum mechanics into a unified field theory. The reason is there's no unified field. There are multiple fields on multiple levels. Sorry to tell you, but it's true. And Dr. Jung perceived that over 100 years ago.